going to explain to you why the Lions are going to win the NFC North in 2020. That's coming your way right now. Hello and welcome to Intermittent Sports, the channel where we go over the Detroit Lions, Detroit Pistons, Detroit Tigers, and Michigan Wolverines. So if you're a fan of 1, 2, 3, or all 4 of those teams, go ahead and subscribe right here, hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of the Michigan sports action. Okay, so you've seen the title and you think I'm pretty crazy. Alright, fair enough. I probably am. Winning the NFC North Division, however, is not out of the question, and I want to make that very clear. In my past videos, I have absolutely praised the Lions offense. They can definitely give us the opportunity to win this division. It is an exceptionally good offense led by our boy Matt Stafford, who statistically was in the top 5 of most of the most important categories in the NFL last season prior to going down to injury. He definitely thrived under that Darrell Bevell offense, much better than he did under the Jim Bob Cooter offense that was and Stafford is protected well by Taylor Decker, who we just signed to a 4-year, $60 million extension. A lot of people don't agree with that. I do. I think he's worth it. Frank Ragnow at center, who I mentioned is one of the best in the business at getting inside the chest plate and steering you in the direction that he wants to go. Then there's Joe Dahl, who is always reliable. And then you have Halapula Vate, who has played behind Pro Bowlers in the past. He should bring a lot of experience and wisdom to our team. Now, the right guard position is pretty much up for grabs, but my guess is, and my preference is, that it will be Jonah Jackson out of Ohio State. He has a lot of talent and should be able to grow quickly given the guys around him. You have TJ Hawkinson at the tight end position. He's one of the best tight ends in the league that you don't yet know about. He's going to thrive in the coming years and become a Pro Bowler and a household name. In fact, I project him this year to haul in 10 touchdown passes, which is just one less from team leader and league leader last season, Kenny Golladay, who had 11. And I'm not exactly alone in this thought. Our boy Tim 20man has him projected at 9 touchdowns. He is big on the big fellas fantasy draft value coming into 2020, and why wouldn't he be? TJ Hawkinson has all the right tools to get the job done. At wide receiver, I mentioned Kenny Golladay had 11 touchdowns last year. Marvin Jones was 4th in the NFL with 9 touchdowns last year. That means 2 receivers without Matthew Stafford half of the season were in the top 4 of touchdowns a year ago. Then you have Danny Amendola in the slot position. That's a lot of experience, a lot of mentorship, and a lot of reliability. The rookie Quintez Cephas, you know, a lot of people disagree with that pick when it was draft time, but the coaches are saying that he's very coachable, he wants to learn, and he's getting better day by day. And of course, we all know what Jamal Agnew can do when he gets the ball in his hands in space. He has now moved to the offensive side of the ball, and I'm telling you, he's electric. Look out for him in 2020. All in all, I'm giving this Detroit offense a B+ rating with every opportunity to be an A-, an A, or even an A+. They are among the best in the NFL talent-wise, at least on paper. It's of course our defense that I have to worry about, as they struggled mightily on that side of the football in 2019. But to fine-tune that defense, we of course added Jeff Okudah with our 3rd pick overall in the NFL draft. He's actually said to be struggling in training camp so far, but a lot of people would with our receiving core. We also brought in linebacker Jamie Collins, nose tackle Danny Shelton, safety Daron Harmon, and former 1st-round pick Desmond Trufant at the cornerback position. Definitely a new look on that side of the football, and probably much needed considering we were the 26th ranked overall defense a year ago. We were dead last against the pass and 21st against the run. We're gonna have to get better against the pass, but it doesn't necessarily look promising when you're talking about facing Rodgers twice this season, Breeze once, and Tom Brady once. Those are some tough guys to have to go against when you're looking to improve in that category. But the defense is my big if this season. If they can play much better on that side of the football than they did last year, then I have no concern about the offense, and all of a sudden we're a pretty dang good football team. We have every opportunity to win this division. Shortly, I'm going to go over the other teams quickly to help you realize why we really do have a better shot than some people think. For starters, just look at last season in general. Before Matt Stafford went down, we of course played against the Kansas City Chiefs, who were the eventual Super Bowl champions. We played them tight. We only lost 34-30. We also played Green Bay tight tight both times, honestly. Once without Matt Stafford, we lost 23-20, and the first time with Matt Stafford, we got cheated, obviously. You can go back and look at that game. There were the 2 illegal hands-to-face calls. We only lost that game 23-22 at Lambeau, a place where we're just 3-22 in the last 25 years. Matt Stafford going down was, of course, the big deal. As mentioned, he was having a Pro Bowl type year prior to that happening. And now we have back a healthy TJ Hawkinson and another weapon in DeAndre Swift, who can really catch the ball out of the backfield and present problems for the defensive coordinator when they're talking about trying to have their linebackers match up against Swift. That's a problem. That's a good thing for us. We also have Kerryon Johnson when healthy. We've seen what he can do. And we have Bo Scarborough, who can run downfield and get the job done for the heavy duty yardage that we need. Now, a lot of people have been pretty hard on Bob Quinn. I think those are impatient people. When you really look at it, yes, he's made some questionable decisions in the draft, but a lot of the decisions in the draft have really come through for us, much more than they did in previous years. And then a lot of people are knocking the acquisitions of constant Patriots players, but those guys are former Super Bowl champions, and a lot of them are coming through. They have the experience and the knowledge to come to Detroit and teach them winning ways. That is what this city and this team needs more than anything. They need a winning mentality. I think we're starting to get there. And we're getting rid of guys like Ebron who don't have that mentality. All the patient fans know that Kenny Galladay is one step away from being an elite receiver. All the patient fans know that Taylor Decker and Frank Ragnow were great picks who are really anchoring down that offensive line. All the patient fans know that when Jared Davis is healthy and when TJ Hawkinson is healthy, they are leaders among their sides of the football. We are in excellent shape, there's no doubt about that. I am not an optimistic Lions fan usually, but this season and beyond I am. I am fully on board. The Detroit Lions are getting better slowly but surely. Either get on board or get out. So let's go ahead and look at our competitors. Let's start with last year's division winner that went 13-3, the Green Bay Packers. Now the Packers, despite being the NFC conference runner-up, decided to take Jordan Love in the first round of the draft to back up Aaron Rodgers, and then they took AJ Dillon in the second round of the draft to back up Aaron Jones. I just don't understand that decision making. You're one of the final 4 teams in the entire NFL, so you just need to add a couple more pieces to get you over the hump, and you take backups. Sure, look towards the future, but your puzzle's almost done. Just finish out those pieces. Despite the records being vastly different between Green Bay and Detroit, we've proven that there's not much of a disparity there. Again, the scores last season were 23-22 and 23-20, and that other one was without Stafford, as I said. My main concern about the Packers, honestly, is you now have a pissed off Aaron Rodgers. That seems dangerous for a pass defense that was dead last in the NFL last season. Still, Green Bay's defense was 23rd against the run in 2019, and they were 14th against the pass. So Aaron Rodgers can be as good as he wants. At the end of the day, you're going to need your defense to come through, and I'm not so sure that Green Bay's can. And they didn't do a lot of work towards the defense. They did not pick a defensive player in this year's NFL draft until round 5, pick 175. The team that finished second in the NFC North division last season, the Minnesota Vikings, are my pick this year to win it all. Well, not win it all, but the NFC North. They were 10-6 a year ago. But here's some good news for Detroit and the rest of the teams in the division. They made a lot of questionable decisions in the offseason. Everson Griffen is now a Dallas Cowboy. That's a huge blow to a defense that was 5th in the NFL a year ago. Next, while the Vikings did draft very well, they drafted Justin Jefferson out of LSU to replace Stefon Diggs. They fine-tuned a cornerback position that was a position of need by drafting Jeff Gladney out of TCU, and they got very good value and an absolute steal in taking tackle Ezra Cleveland out of Boise State. But still, even with those pretty good picks, there was a glaring hole in Minnesota's offense last season. That was the interior of the offensive line. They did not pick an offensive guard, and that could come back to haunt them. The Vikings also re-signed quarterback Sean Mannion to back up Kirk Cousins. Now, Mannion has been in the league since 2015 and is still yet to throw a touchdown pass in his career. I did say that correctly. He has not thrown a touchdown pass in the NFL. Their other options at the moment are Jake Browning and Nate Stanley. So Kirk Cousins' "if I die comment is worse than we may think. Because if he goes down, the Vikings are absolutely screwed. Then lastly, you have the Bears, who, yes, I've been picking on them in a lot of my videos, but for real, they have no offense at all. For as excellent as their defense is, they will not be a real threat threat in the NFC North until their offense can sustain drives and put points on the board. The days of saying that defense wins championships are dwindling down. They're not gone yet, but they're becoming less and less of a reality by the day and by the season. So there you have it, the potential and capabilities of the 2020 Detroit Lions to win the NFC North and the thorns in the side and problematic issues of our competition in that division. Mix those two things together and you can see why we have every single opportunity to take this one home for the first time in a very long time for Detroit. Hey, crazier things have happened in 2020, am I right? Let me know what your thoughts are. Who's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the division? Rank them down below. I want to hear from you and give me reasons why. You've been watching Intermittent Sports, the channel where we cover these Detroit Lions, the Detroit Tigers, the Detroit Pistons, and the Michigan Wolverines. If you love all 4 of those teams, or even 3, or 2, or 1, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of the Michigan sports action. We'll be here all season long, calling games, commentating on games, coming up with previews, coming out with funny skit videos. We'll have it all here on this channel. This is Intermittent Sports, your YouTube home for Michigan sports coverage. It's been real, guys. God bless and go Lions.